Look, they don't know about Big Bub. They do not
Mm-mm.
know about Big Bub. Shoot, be do.
Not at all.
Mm,
Whatever
mm,
happened to
mm.
him?
He passed away.
Did he?
Yeah, if I'm not
What?
mistaken. I want to say Big
Stop
Bub passed
it.
away.
I'm a I'm
Don't
a
don't
Google it.
quote me, but I want to say yeah. Google
Is
it. You know how you do.
Big
He
Bug.
was in the that Mary J. No, maybe it wasn't him. Somebody passed away. I don't know
Where
if
is
it
Big
was.
Bub? Big Bub emerged from the R&B group Today and went on to release a few projects, solo projects. He's still active and put
Oh,
on a new
so then it
single,
was somebody
Rain, in
from
2019.
You
it
didn't
was.
kill the man off.
I'm sorry.
Right,
I'm sorry, Big Bub. You know, hey man, that dude right there. That was Penny Pullers Volume 1, 2, 3,
man.
7, 11, all of that. My
Big
bad.
Bub. Oh my God.
My bad. I take that back. I'm gonna have to give him a yeah, next week we're gonna open up with a little Big Bub for real. Cause
Let me
shoot,
take
be
my
dude.
camera off because I'm gonna be, oh, I'm gonna be all into it.
I
Oh,
can't with
pick
you.
one of
I
my
can't.
faves.
I cannot. Look at that.
Mhm.
Gigi says, well, first of all, good evening, good evening,
Yes,
good evening.
Gigi.
Gigi said, Big Bub Zoom. You got it.
Boom.
That part
I
right there.
fly
I may be
away.
just a
Oh, that's the
foolish
way he said.
dreamer, but
Mm.
I don't care. They don't know nothing
Do,
about
do,
that.
do, do, do.
But then again, Gigi knew about it. So, hey, I'm going to be
Yeah.
quiet. I'm going to be quiet. That part right there.
Let me download that. Let me let me put that on my phone. I still have it on my old school
iPod.
iPod.
I knew you was
Ooh,
going to say that.
I need to pull that out. Oh my God.
That's classic.
I know
Good
Classic.
I got
evening,
one
good evening, good evening, you guys. Welcome to Gentlemen After Dark, a place where grown folks can talk. And I just need to try something really fast. 3 and 100 proof. If y'all could just mute your mic, I just need to see if that's
Sure.
going to make that sound go away. So, welcome. Yeah, I don't hear nothing. Welcome to Gentlemen After Dark, you guys. It's that time. It's that time. We're going to just stay muted, you guys, until we need to speak. You know what? Let's play a little bit of music while we wait for some folks to get here. A little bit of this Corey Lavelle. It's my baby brother. That part. Damon Jackson's in the building. Oh, snap. Shoot, beat dude. Hi, Miss Amanda.
Hey, everybody.
She just a smiling. It was good. On the other hand, it was not so good. That part, we are live right now. We just waiting a little bit. We got Gigi in the building who knows a little bit of something about Big Bub. That's what's up. Although I call her Trouble. But yeah. My big bro, Damon DJ Jackson. What up, though? He said here, sleepy and present, my good people. Hang tight, boy. Don't go to sleep just yet. Just hold on. Just hold on. Look, maybe I'll give you a little sneak peek. Maybe we could start off talking about that. Anybody know anything about that? Pippi Longstocking. Oh, y'all my right. I am Pippi Longstocking. Open the hay and the hope shall not. Here comes Pippi Longstocking. Watch out, here I come. That part. Who else is in the building? We got
That was
about
my
12
Halloween
viewers.
costume.
That was your Halloween costume.
When I
Really?
was little, I was Pippi Longstocking. I put the things in my hair for the braids.
Really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Alicia Walker said yes. Good evening to you, Miss Walker. Good evening to you. You are still on countdown for birthday, I believe. What are you, 1 day away, 2 days, a couple of hours, few minutes? Or am I tardy for the party? I don't know. But anywho, oh, my brother from Pittsburgh, he's up. What's good, people? What up, though? Tuna's in the building. Look, now I know she know about it. Ain't that right, baby girl? Come on, boy, I can count on this young lady. Pippi Longstocking. We're going to talk about that for a hot minute. This is she ties this in perfectly for me. That's what's up. Miss Darlene's in the building. Good evening to you, Miss Darlene. Thank you for being here. Felicia said, yes, tomorrow, May 19th. Thank you. Tomorrow's Felicia's birthday, y'all. Tomorrow. 3. You been practicing? You want to sing to her tonight? You muted. We can't hear a word you just said.
I'm like, oh, to Felicia?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the girl with the truck.
Yes, that's the one.
Yes, happy
Perfect.
birthday, boo.
Right, perfect time in fashion mobile boutique. How you like that? My brother Detroit, from Detroit, shall I say, Roy Fowler, aka Reaper. What up with you, man? Thank you for being here. The man himself. Oh, I'm gonna have to go and bring him on down here with me. All right, it's the fellas again. We rocking hats again from another undisclosed location. No treehouse this time. I don't know where he at this time, but okay. Sydney's in the building. Hey, Sydney, how are you? Thank you for being here. Well, that's the Corey Lavelle, y'all. We just heard that song was entitled "Ready." Thank y'all for being here. How you guys doing?
Good. Where's Devin?
So Devin had a graduation today. Fuego got tied up doing something. She said she's not sure if she's gonna make it or not. So this might be our dream team. I hope some conversation out of this for real. So let's go ahead and get the night started off right. And we're going to start off like this.
Live in studio, you're tuned into Gentlemen After Dark. Hey, Onyx.
Shouts out to Miss Amanda. Hey, Onyx. I appreciate you. We ain't played that in a good minute. So welcome. Before we get started, I'm going to go ahead and just jump right in, you guys. I'm going to introduce tonight's panel. We got a few people missing, but no need to fear. Gentlemen After Dark is here. So let's start off tonight with the baby twin of the new news that was here, the baby twin. Oops, that touchscreen didn't work. Shouts out to my girl. 100 Proof is in the building, you guys. 100 Proof. Good evening to you.
Good evening, everyone.
She ain't tardy. She uh-oh. Look at Miss Day Jr. Miss Day Jr.
What you sipping on?
This is a smoothie. Thank you.
Onyx.
Banana mango smoothie.
Look, you see my eye?
Onyx.
Whatever.
Miss 3 is in the building, y'all. Sipping in all. Here we go. Special guest tonight, y'all. Special guest. Miss Amanda's in the building. Welcome, Miss Amanda, to the neighborhood, y'all.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
And of course, my brother, my little big brother, Snoopy Cliff Mello, with all the positive vibes and energies, because we ain't been getting none of that from you in the last couple of weeks, but Snoopy Cliff Mello.
Namaste. Feeling energy.
So thank y'all for being here. Thank my audience for being here, you guys. Tonight's going to be a good conversation as always, or a great one, shall I say, as we always do. I know last week we had some fun last week, if I must say so myself. We had a lot of fun. I'm trying to move this down, and I'm looking for my dang on flyer, and I can't get to it. There we go. No, there it goes. Tonight's conversation, you guys, Gentlemen After Dark, current affairs. We're going to talk about what's going on in our world today. But before we get to that, I was having a conversation with Damon DJ Jackson, who's fighting Mr. Sandman right now. We started talking about old movies and shows that we grew up with as kids. And so I started with this Pippi on the Run. Now, I know Sasha knew about it, but I don't know about the rest of y'all. Maybe y'all too young for this.
Really?
I'm not sure, but there was Pippi on the Run. Then we have just the classic Pippi Longstocking. And then we had Pippi Goes Abroad. Yeah. So yeah. I got the 3 CD collection. 3 CD, yes, I do own that. Along with a few other kiddie type movies. The Mad Monster Party. But I was thinking about it, and we were talking about it, how, our kids are so far separated from how we grew up, like watching the OG cartoons, the innocence of what that brought, although it had its own little
Yeah, them
violence,
things wasn't innocent.
if you it had its violence, if you will. Oh, she made it, y'all. She made it. Miss Days in the
Onyx.
what? The Drew crew is gonna occupy the bottom row. How about that? Well, that's what we're
All
gonna do tonight. Matter of
right.
fact, let's do it like this.
Hello,
There we go.
everybody. Hello, everybody.
Hello, my sister.
Shoot, be do. I love it. Hold on.
Apartment 201.
One.
Apartment
Apartment
201,
202
202, and
and
206. We all up in here.
206.
Second floor is holding it down. What?
Barbecue.
With Judy Barbecue. That's what's up. But yeah, we were just talking about these movies and just the old school things, man, that we are so far disconnected from at this point. No Heckle and Jekyll, no Tom and Jerry, no Fred Flintstone, Barney, no Jetsons, no Sid and Marty Krofft Superstars, no Hanna-Barbera. And our kids really don't know about that unless you educated them and shared that with them. I know my baby girl knows, because these are some of the things that she grew up watching, because they were, quote unquote, kid friendly. But one thing about Pippi was my baby mama before I even had Sasha. Like, yeah, that's my girl right there. Go Pippi.
Pippi on the high
Red.
seas.
Pippi on the Run, Pippi in the South Seas.
Pippi on the South Seas.
Come on. We start quizzing people. What was the monkey's name?
Mr. Nelson.
Oh, okay. 1 point for the fellas. 1 point for the
I was
fellas.
mad because my mic wasn't on. I was like,
1 point for the fellas. Okay.
whatever.
Yeah. So how about the two crooks? What were their names?
I don't know.
What?
I just know the friends Tommy, Annika.
Tommy and Annika. I'll take that. How about the horse?
Oh,
Do, 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 do,
The horse
do,
wasn't
do,
Mr. Nelson.
do. No, that
No.
was the monkey.
That was the
It was
monkey.
the monkey.
Deidre, good evening to you. I'll help y'all out. Old man.
Oh man,
Latrice
you
said it.
right.
Latrice said it first.
Latrice said it first.
Yeah.
Thank you, Latrice. AKA Pippi's in the building, y'all. Pippi's in the building for real. Miss Latrice would know that part right there. So, you guys, I'm ready to talk. How about y'all? Miss 3 wasn't here last week. I don't know, do we need to do a carryover? Neither was Miss Amanda, who's our special guest for tonight. She might be a permanent fixture. I don't know. Depends on what she wants to do. But y'all remember what we talked about last week? Anybody?
Nope.
Nope.
Thanks, Miss Day. I appreciate that. Gets me out of it.
3 popped in for a hot second, and then she faded out real quick as we started talking about number 2 pencil, blue pencil from kindergarten, and the eraser. She didn't want to talk about it, so she didn't even show up. But no, on a serious note, though, you guys, I really wanted to talk about
And then there's the preschool pencil, the big red preschool pencil. The big pencil. You don't know nothing about that.
No, I don't. No, I don't know nothing about that. I thought preschool was using crayons.
No,
So,
they use the jumbo pencil.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Wow.
The blue one.
They use the red ones, the big ones.
So before I even
I'm partial to blue.
I just got to ask the question. I'm gonna just do it. Here we go. And this is for 3 and for Miss Amanda because they wasn't here last week. So I'm gonna just ask.
Let's go, Amanda. Let's go.
Look at her laughing already.
Right. Let me see if I can
speak your truth, Amanda.
Let's see if let's see if we can do it right. This thing is not acting right. Hold on. Where is?
Oh my God! Just ask the question, man.
Ooh. Check.
Does size matter, ladies? Does size matter?
Take it away, Amanda.
To each his own.
Oh, that's a safe 3
That's a safe
right
answer.
there. That's a safe 3 answer. Look at that, already out the gate.
I mean, but that's real. I mean, some people, they need a little. Some people need a lot. Some people need a whole lot. I can't speak on everybody's anatomy, and
we talking about yours.
We're not talking about my anatomy, not on a live broadcast.
Here we go.
But I will say, Snoopy Mellow, that horses scare me. No, I'm just playing. So I don't need as much as some people do. And she laughed.
What? It's just getting worse and worse. What is going on?
I think, I was thinking about this last week, when we were on the broadcast, and I think sometimes, everybody's like, yeah, size matters. I need this, I need that. And I'm like, okay, and that's cool sometimes, but sometimes, a lot can be too much, and I'm gonna leave it there.
Okay, I'll take that. I'm gonna take that from a Miss Amanda to kick us off. Come on, 3.
I'm just gonna end it with the old school. It's about the motion in the ocean.
Motion in the ocean.
Hey, how you work it is how you work it, as long as it benefits me.
Selfish, but okay.
Hey, well, if I'm not, and I just settle for the okie doke, then I'm gonna be miserable, and then I'm just gonna be settling, and then I'm stuck in a situation I don't want to be in. So, motion in the ocean, make it happen.
Got it. Aye, Captain.
Right.
And my Benny Hill voice.
Gilligan.
Skipper. Anywho, so I'm glad that we can lighten our atmosphere a little bit, you guys. Current affairs. What exactly are we going to talk about? I know most of us should know. If we don't know, we will know tonight after having a little bit of conversation. For those of us who watch television, watch the news, follow the news, and all that good stuff, I definitely want to acknowledge these people first before I even jump in. Remembering their lives. And I'm going to just leave this up here for a minute. These individuals lost their lives at a Tops supermarket in Buffalo, New York. Tragic, devastating, sad. It's an unfortunate situation that transpired. It's a situation, you guys, that can happen to any of us at any time. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see the video, but I did. I was appalled at what I saw. I equated it to playing a video game, but it was way more real than a video game. Bodies were just dropping left and right. Bodies that were already on the ground. This guy just walking by and tapping an extra shot into the body just to assure that he hit his target. And he actually streamed it himself as it was going down. Had an opportunity to reload his weapon and everything. 11 people lost their lives. 2 others survived, or 10 lost their lives and 3 others survived. One, for a fact, that I do know was a white male who screamed out, and the shooter says, "I'm sorry," and proceeded doing what he was doing. These people had no idea what they were being hit with. They had no idea it was coming their way. People pushing a shopping basket outside of the supermarket to go to their car to put their groceries in the trunk of their car dropped. What has our society turned into? Where are we? And just recently, again, for those of us in the motorcycle community, there was a group, and I want to say that it was the Black Sabbath. A group of their bikers were hit intentionally by a truck driver. Do we have that much hate in the world that people would intentionally do some stuff like that? Absolutely. I know we do. But how do we recover from that? Do we recover from that? Can we recover from that? Do we want to recover from that? Or does it just continue to fuel the fire and the rage that a lot of us have pent up inside of us towards other nationalities, races, etc., etc.? How do you guys feel?
This is America, man. It is America. It's not going to change. You have I'm not blaming Trump because this was here long before he got here, and it's just people have become empowered.
I'm
If
not blaming
you
Trump.
one niner X-ray, if you look at Fox News and what the excuses that they're making for this dude, this killer, is ridiculous, and it shows you. And Fox News has been doing this a long time. It shows you how they absolutely feel. As Ice Cube said, this is what they think about you. Our life mean nothing. Because if a black guy did the same thing, he's a thug, he's an animal, he's this. But they are saying this mentally ill kid, this guy with mental disease, fuck all that. This is what they think of us. We are dispensable to them. And every time I speak with my children, I always end with a few things that are the same. I love you. Be careful and stay dangerous. Those are the words I always say to them, because they didn't even grow up like us in the 80s where gangbanging was at its height. When you go to house parties, you got to watch your back. You got to do this. This ain't even that. At least we knew where lines were.
Right.
Here, this dude, I saw the video. He just jumped. I was telling somebody, it's like pulling up to this Home Depot, jumping out your car and unloading. I wouldn't have a chance, because like you said, you never see it coming. It's just a nice day, people going to their cars. Like you said, the first 3 people Gone, gone, gone. Drop of a hat.
Right.
But they're empowered to do that, and then you get this guy gets arrested. Gets arrested. How does that happen? When I get pulled over for a stop sign and I'm at name, I might not make it home.
Right.
So I mean, it clearly shows you what they think about us. Because like I told somebody, if I'm an officer on the duty, nah, he not. I'm losing my job that day, and he gonna lose his life, guaranteed. And
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
Anybody else? How you feel? And the reason
And
why
here's another
I
thing. Oh, go ahead.
go ahead. No, I was gonna say the reason why I wanted to talk about this because again, a lot of us are holding on to some things. This is a perfect opportunity for us to let some things go. And let me start off. I should have started like this, but no one here on this panel is a psychiatrist, psychologist. In my case, not even a gynecologist. But
Thank God.
in all seriousness, we don't need to hold it. We gotta let it out. We gotta talk about it. That's how we heal or begin the process of healing. So go ahead, Miss Day.
I was gonna say, I just want to know why the media, every time these incidents happen with these white boys, it's always, oh, they're mentally ill. They throw the mentally ill in there real quick, but how you mentally ill when you knew that you were going there just to shoot black people? You know what I'm saying? You said sorry to the white boy that you shot accidentally, but they always a lone wolf. This was an isolated incident. Um, you know what I'm saying? He was he had so much to look forward to. He was a high school graduate, but the people that got killed, they'll depict them as they were that grandmother Geraldine, she was on welfare. She over here was was out of work. The gentleman over here, he was, you know, suspected drug dealer back in 1976. You know what I'm saying? They bring all the bad stuff out on the black people, but they make the actual killers, they make you want to sympathize with them. Not me, but I mean, that's how they portray them as they want to sympathize them. I think they were saying that even one of the officers was dang near soothing the white boy, like patting him on the back.
Hmm.
Like, it's gonna be okay. Cause they all on cold. Everybody is on cold but us.
Hmm.
They all on cold. How come the black officers that are watching this go down not saying nothing?
Right. Right.
Because they are just as guilty as the white boys that are killing our black man in the street. If you are a black cop and you watch this go down and you sit back and say nothing, you are just the same. You are just the same. He ain't mentally ill. That's what they're going to say to get him off.
Hmm.
Right. And you
You know,
can't be
killed
too
all these.
mentally ill when he drove, I believe they said about 2 hours to get to the
200 miles, and he was in there the day before casing the joint. They got him on video.
They still gonna say he was mentally ill,
Yeah.
even though he live stream it,
Yeah.
or
Yep.
he live streamed it.
Yep. I was going to actually show the video and then I gave it thought. I asked a few folks and it was like, you know what?
No.
We're not gonna do that. Hey, I'm not gonna give him no extra glory that he done already felt like he achieved. But to see it the way it went down, man, I just was like, what the hell? I actually asked my brother who sent it to me, like, what the hell did I just watch? Like, what is that? And he was like, yo, you didn't hear about the buffalo? Well, I seen it on my phone, but I don't watch very much TV, man. I'm gonna be honest, because it's nothing but the depressing news. I just don't. I see the highlights on my phone, the words, that's about it. But when you actually see what was shown, and to know that this guy did all of that, and to your point, Miss Day, for you to say he was mentally off, like, no, that's a whole lot more to it. A whole lot more. But that's just my opinion. Anybody
But
else, please?
um, they're being raised like that. You don't just wake up and this is what you do. The anger, the hate, all of this is being taught at home. I try not to
Mm-hmm.
watch the news unless I absolutely have to because it's depressing. Had it been one of us, he'd have been carried out in a body bag. Period.
Yep.
Period. Every time you turn around there, this is that white privilege from the Karens talking crazy. I think I saw something the other day on the internet. I don't know if they were at a football game, but a Karen was talking crap to a black guy and she slapped him. But now she want to play the victim. Keep your hands to yourself. We
Right.
are not our parents because if you spit on me, I'm gonna break your jaw. We are not our parents. But pertaining to this, I just um it makes us fearful as far, especially for those of us that are raising young men. I have a daughter, not to say that it can't happen to us, but I am petrified for those of us raising young men. You don't even want to let them leave the house, and it's such a shame that these are the conversations we have to have with our sons before they go out the door. That's not okay. As Onyx said, this was going on prior to Trump, but he's still making it worse because he will not go away. There are
Mm-hmm.
people that are still rallying behind him and hoping that he can run again. We in
Mm-hmm.
2022 and this is still how they see us. It's insane to me. So I haven't seen the video. I probably won't watch it because I just can't. There's so much going on with everybody right now. And you just never know what's going to send somebody over the edge. But
Yep.
him, he's not mental. Nothing's wrong with him. He did it because he knew he was going to get away with it. Bottom line.
Right. Right. Recorded itself in the whole 9 yards.
And he had the other killers. He had Dylan Roof, which was the guy who shot the black church up. He had those names written on the gun. He had nigger written on it, and he had some other dude written on it. I didn't know who that one was, but yeah, he knew what he was doing. Don't give me that mental stuff. And he away. I know he away from some niggas that will put in some work. He in a safe space. They putting him with some like-minded white folk until the trial, or whenever. I think he went before the judge, right? Did he
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
before the judge yet?
Yeah, he pled not guilty.
Yeah, because they're gonna use the insanity plea. But yeah, fuck all that.
I just want to piggyback off of something that Tanya said. As a mother of two very young boys, it's always fascinating to me. And then I'll jump into the current event stuff, but it's always fascinating to me, like having two boys, one that's about to be 10 and one that's an infant. I'd be out, especially when I go to, they side of town or if I'm on vacation or whatever with my little ones. And people always come up and they're like, oh my God, your baby is so beautiful, or your son is just so handsome. And oh, he's just so sweet and this and that and the third. And I'm like, but keep that same energy when they get to be 12, 13, 18. Like, where does that go? Because now you see them as kids, but in the minute, like she said, and I think about it all the time, and like they're little, but it's like, but then when does it turn? When does it turn? Like, one of the things that the media was saying was that they were describing him as, you know, an 18-year-old boy, but then you look
Right.
at Mike Brown or somebody else that, you know, it's like, oh, the 18-year-old man. And I'm just like, how? Like, where's the discrepancy, where's the shift that comes in? So, I mean, but, you know, that's an excuse that they use to, you know, do what they want to do to us. I want to, I'm a news junkie. Everybody that knows me knows I'm a news junkie. So I do want to give some credit, not that they need it, to CNN for literally highlighting everybody that has passed and like reaching out to their families and making it a point to say, like, look, tell the world what you want them to know about, you know, your relative. Tell them what they need to know. And so people have been able to say, you know, my aunt was the person in the community that took care of everybody, took people in, you know, my uncle was the person that, you know, I think one guy that died, he was like basically running people to the store. He was a deacon at the church and he was running people to the store, and he would do that all the time just to like take them if they need transportation to get their groceries. So, you know, I appreciated them for, you know, doing the counter effect of what Fox News is doing, which is allowing people to tell stories about the you know, the humaneness of these individuals. But as far as, you know, society and like this situation is concerned, I think one of the things that we got to do, I mean, as a whole, is just name it, call a spade a spade. I don't know if anybody watched the press conference that came on a couple of days ago. It was an hour and a half long, so you know, I had the news on in the background while I was working. But the ADA white guy for Buffalo, assistant district attorney, he came on and he's like real extra. Oh, you know, you guys, this is America, and people are, you know, innocent until proven guilty. And
No.
I love, and it was just so extra, right? You're like, really? But
this white America.
Right. But then maybe like two more speakers after him, it was the state assemblywoman who was a black lady, and she came on and she was like, looky here, we're not doing that. On national live television, they were so hot at her, and she said it was live streamed. So we're not going to call him innocent. He's a murderer. And I was like, thank you. And that's, as a society, what we need to be doing. I mean, especially our legislators, our district attorneys, our court system, we need to be calling things as it is in real time. Like, they're so reluctant to call white people terrorists, you know, and they terrorize everybody. You know, I'm not trying to offend any people that are watching the broadcast, but it's like, if it's anybody else, you know, we're shot before we get out of the store, like some people have said, you know, we're automatically guilty. You know, we're automatically guilty. But when it's them, it's always an excuse. And I would like to say to Onyx, you know, I do have a master's in clinical psychology, and I will.
Well, hold on.
I will say that you can't claim to be insane or to have some type of psychotic episode if, in fact, you have strategically planned. That's not a criteria. So I don't even know. I mean, as his defense, I mean, they could put that out there because they're able to do anything, but the, you know, prosecutors would be crazy to allow that, because it doesn't even qualify, like, you know, under any of the statutes and under any mental health diagnosis that you could strategically plan to go and case a place out and drive there. There's, you know, there's no component of that says that he was outside of his mind. But again, I just think as a society, as a community, we're going to do it. We're going to call things out as we see it. But like that state assemblywoman, I really appreciated her, because they're probably, you know, again, people were out there looking at her like, oh my God, like she really got on. Yes, she did. Thank you. We need people to come on and tell the truth immediately and call it what it is. So, I mean, not that that's going to change anything, but I just feel like that's an important starting point, you know.
For that state assembly woman. Is that what it, right? This is the disheartening part for us. We got so many battles. We battling with society. yet we continue to battle each other. And it wasn't us that pulled the trigger on this situation, but we still fighting each other when we really need to be fighting the enemies that are fighting us. Why can't we get together? I remember as kids, because Snoopy Cliff Mello, myself, Miss Day, we all grew up in the same apartment complex on the same block. When we all went somewhere together, we all went together. And back in those days, like Snoopy Cliff Mello said, that's when you had bullies. Bullies was coming in like real bullies, coming from Mount Vernon Junior High School, picking on the little kids. But we were taught and told, stick together and you're going to outnumber them. How come we don't stick together now? Why are we so separate as individuals, fighting our own battle, fighting against one another when we really need to be fighting together?
But it's always the system, Sean Onyx, and that's why
Oh,
that's why when people, black people too, I can't stand to hear this. So if you guys, any of you guys feel this way, I'm sorry. I strongly disagree. When they equate, well, what about the black on black crime? We gotta that's a separate issue. That's a separate issue, which we do have to address. But let's talk about the police killing us. Let's talk about the white folk killing us, because those are separate issues. The black on black is the issue, and there's a reason for that. And to your point, real quick, I don't want to take up three's time, but during those days with us growing up, and even before us, let's go back to the gang situation, which has turned Biden. The gangs were started to fight who? The white folk. The white folk had the gangs first, called spook hunters, because they didn't want us passing Western Avenue. If we went east of Western Avenue, because white folks was in Compton first, we weren't. They didn't want us over there. So those gangs started hunting, killing us as black folks. Then the Crips were formed. Then the Brims were formed to fight them. But then what happened as time goes past? Drugs get introduced, guns get introduced miraculously. Because I'm sorry, we ain't got no boats, we ain't got the means to go get that stuff. That stuff was brought to us. And just like during slave time, the separation, divide and conquer, the greed, we fighting each other even to this day. So that's the systemic part of that. But once again, that's a separate issue versus the people who have the means. Every time we try to get our own stuff, here they come. Go back to Africa. They wouldn't even let us get back to Africa. Can you imagine us going to boats or planes? They're gonna
Right.
shoot that stuff down.
Right. Well, think about how many times the slave catcher had to go catch a slave who, because the slave was trying to get back.
And the slave catchers were the police today. That's where policing derived from.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, 3. Your turn.
No, you're good. I'm disappointed. I'm frustrated. I'm angry. And like, why does it keep happening? Like you said, it's gonna keep. Somebody said it's not gonna stop. We're always the target. And when you talked about, I think it was Miss Amanda who talked about her children and fearing. Whoever said fearing for our young black men, and that's having a 15-year-old. It is my daily fear, but a lot of it is I can't push my fear on him. We can have conversations, but if you have to walk home from school, you got to walk home from school. Like, some of that is
Mm-hmm.
accountability and responsibility that has to be taught. When I'm working from home, I can't always come down the street and pick you up. And it's not a far walk. It's a good 20-minute walk. But what do I think about first every time he has to walk? I think about somebody scooping up on the side of him, calling him the N-word, and wanting to get out and fight him just because he's black. Those things come to my mind, but I can't push my fears on him. I can only talk to him about it. I always tell him, when you're walking, don't use your phone. Know your surroundings. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if you're with a group of friends and those friends say something you don't like, or you feel like in your heart that something's about to go down, walk away. Like, I gotta constantly say these things. And I taught him it's crazy. I taught him as young as maybe it was second grade. I was like, listen, we need to have a talk. There's this word called the N-word. And this is what it means. And it's derogatory. And you don't let nobody call you that. And if anybody calls you that, you let them know what your name is and you don't go by that. So he's had some issues with it, but he's handled it well, I think, because I kept having the conversations. But I have these fears of him walking home and somebody rolling up on him because he's a black boy living in Downey. I think about that stuff often. So it is. I'm frustrated. That happened, and yes, no way is he mentally ill. Like you said, it was plotted, it was planned, it was he had, and he additionally, I don't know if it was written in the manifesto, whatever they call those, that after he did that, he had planned to go around the neighborhood and keep shooting people. So no way is he mentally ill. This was all planned.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I agree with it. What everybody is saying, like, this is not usually I'm the one on the panel saying, usually I'm the one on the panel saying, everybody has some kind of trauma in their life from the past, and their environments create who they are, blah blah blah. But I have no juice on that at all. He is not mentally ill. He's straight crazy, and needs to be executed. That's my
Right.
feeling on it.
No ifs, ands, no buts.
Yeah.
That part. That's crazy.
Not pass go.
I was reading something that when the police came, that he had the gun to his chin.
Yeah, I heard that too.
And somebody, and just reading that, and they, I don't know if they were attempting to talk him out of it, but he got tackled by a police officer. Like, why y'all jump in? Like,
You're right. You're right.
Bye.
Sorry, that ain't funny, but
It's not funny.
Why
But
you jump in? Like, hey, go ahead, do your thing.
man,
Like, whoa.
But you know what though?
But even that's too easy.
Right, exactly.
That's too easy.
mm-hmm.
I think that he should have to literally stand and face all of those families, because when he's found guilty, which he will be, because if it's not, they're gonna burn Buffalo down. They don't want that.
You're right.
But when he's found guilty, because he had the video, the manifesto, there's too much stuff there. So if they don't do that, I'm not gonna even go there. I want them to show him as they read those impact statements, because everybody gets to read impact statements before sentencing. He even if they put him in the best cell in the prison afterward for life or whatever the case may be, because he's going to get preferential treatment. Even if they do that, he needs to have to sit there and hear like what he did from those people. And I don't care how cozy and how they hide him away, that's going to stick with him. So I feel like if he would have took his life, I'm glad, I didn't know that the officer tackled him, but I'm glad that happened, because he should have to like just absorb what that means and be punished for it. I think that was just, like you said, it was just that would have been way too easy.
And the crazy part is, as he absorbs it, I don't think he's going to give a crap about any of it.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
He can watch people tell their story, and I think he can watch people tell their story, families be frustrated, families curse him out, whatever that is. I don't think he's going to have an emotion behind it, because he knew what his mission was, and he didn't care. And I don't think he's.
And in the racist eyes, he's a hero.
Right.
He's a hero.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They're praising him for taking a few more of them out. They're paying for his legal fees right now. Somebody is making a GoFundMe for him right now.
Just like they did Kyle Rittenhouse.
He's not gonna in his mind, he's thinking he's going to get out because they're all on code. Just like that, yeah. What's his name? Snoop. That's the one that killed those
Yeah.
people at the rally or whatever,
Yep.
and
Kyle
tried to say
Rittenhouse.
he.
Yeah,
And
Silver
he planned it,
Spoons. Ricky Schroeder
and
paid
he
for
planned
his.
it.
Yep.
They're gonna pay for his legal fees. He's not going to feel anything coming, any hurt from that. He's not going. They are going to pay his legal fees for as long as he gets in there. He doesn't have any remorse when they read those statements from the victims' families and everything. He ain't gonna feel nothing because you know why? Behind closed doors, they telling him, "Good job."
Right.
There's,
Right.
there's a few more off the streets. You did something great. He thinks he did something great. That's why he had those names carved on to the to the gun. He think he's going down in history as a
Mm-hmm.
great man that got rid of the. You know what I'm saying? That's how they think.
And I mean, they might pat him on the back, but the reality of it is, no matter who pays his legal fees, no matter what, when you go guilty and you go life in prison for all of those counts of murder, you can have people cheering, hoorahing you on, but you still gonna have to sit there. So I respectfully I disagree when we.
If he goes to jail for it,
I mean, I
if he
honestly,
doesn't get off.
okay, and if this was 92 Rodney King, okay, I might say yeah, but I don't think they want them problems. I mean, I'm just being honest.
What do you mean? We see it all the time. We've seen it repeated over and over of people getting off killing black people.
Right, but
White people getting off killing black people.
more recently though, we have seen some people actually get convicted, and again, the evidence is too overwhelming. So if we have a jury, I'm not saying that it can't happen. What I'm saying is, if we have a jury that's just so lopsided and one-sided that this just literally goes, they ignore the overwhelming, because this is not, we're not talking about, well, maybe if he did it, did he have a mask on? We're talking about it was live streamed. So the probability that they're going to get him on one count, even from the witnesses that are alive to testify that, hey, that was him, is he's going to get something. It may not be every single charge, but he's going to get something. But what I was going to say was, don't discount the fact that, yeah, people may be paying his fees and people may be cheering him on and everything, and that may be the case. But when you're sitting there locked up in prison, you don't get those cheers at night when that's that body count. And again,
he need to be in a cell with a half dead from
listen,
penitentiary.
I mean, and maybe that's what it's going to take, but I'm not saying that it's going to have an immediate impact, but that's going to sit with him at some point, because all those hoorahs and all that stuff is not going to help him. It's not going to help him at some point. I don't see him getting off. And as far as Kyle Rittenhouse, that was a completely, although it was janky because his mom basically drove him there with a gun and he was a minor. Again, he engaged two other people who engaged him. And that was a messy, I watched that trial. That was a messy case to begin with. We're not talking about a quote unquote hate crime with Kyle Rittenhouse. We're talking about an actual federally charged hate crime. So even if Buffalo doesn't go after him, sorry, this is the legal stuff. Like federally, he will be. I'm that person. Federally, there will be hate crime charges on top of whatever charges come from Buffalo. So it's coming around one way or another. I know as Black people, like that's like really hard for us to believe. And I think internally, a lot of times we don't even want to get our hopes up that we might get some semblance of justice, because every time that there is video and every time that there is something, like we're so used to them just basically ignoring it. So I completely understand like everybody's kind of apathy, I guess if that's the word, around this and what they may or may not do. But it's coming down the pipeline one way or another. And listen, and if by some strange chance, in the universe he doesn't get got illegally, karma's gonna get him. It's gonna get him so good. Listen, you can't do ugly, and God just don't like it. You can't do something that's so vile and so ugly and it just not come back to get you. It just
And
I'ma
then
just
two,
because keep
it
talking, I'm
depends
just
on
put up the
the
picture.
judge also.
Exactly.
Yeah, because the one on what's the guy's
Just
name?
like with Kyle
Kyle.
Rittenhouse,
Yeah, that judge was a piece of work because I followed it too. So yes, he
he was a
could
piece of
go.
shit.
Yeah, I'm like, how is he even sitting on a bench?
Exactly.
He was a piece of work. So if he gets one of those judges, it's a wrap.
Well, he sits on the
So
bench because we don't go and vote for our judges when we turn in those ballots. I mean, if I'm, yeah, I'm gonna be that person tonight too. You know, a
right.
lot of times we
But
sit there and we vote for the people that are like mainstream or just our basic governor, our basic council lady, or whatever the case may be. But a lot of times we don't. There's that page that lists all those judges and all those circuit people or whatever the case may be, and a lot of people don't even bother to take the time to even just Google search and say, oh, okay, let me see what this person is about, and this is what that person is about, and that's how those people get seats. So, you know,
well, the last time I voted, the last couple of times I have done that, and they still don't give enough information. The Even when you go to their websites, it's always going to be fluff, and even when you try to dive deeper, it's all surface. Like this one guy is one Asian guy that I did vote for this last time as to become a judge. I think he won. It was based on he had a lot of civil rights cases and how he ruled on it, but it's all what's listed. But I don't know, is this the truth? Because I haven't, because you can go and sit in certain cases. You can go to the courthouse if you ain't got nothing else to do and sit in certain cases and observe these people. But most most of us, 99% of us, ain't got that time. So we're still going by what we're being told. But I do agree with the statement on the surface. But because I don't know how many of us have been to jail or know people that have gone to jail, there's a segregation that goes on. Whether you're a gangbanger, whether you've done this type of crime, whether they're gonna put you where you most comfortable. So that's why when some of us are saying he's not gonna feel that because he's gonna be put with the white supremacists. Let's not be naive about that. And they are gonna cheer. Yeah, it's gonna hit them at night. Oh fuck, I gotta I can't live my life. But at the same time, he's gonna be comforted and covered and even protected to a degree by those like-minded individuals until that one dude gets that chance or somebody pay one of his comforters to let that happen. He Unless he get that death penalty, yeah, he gonna be protected. He's gonna be protected because that's how the whole system needs to be thrown away. We don't need to redo it. It needs to be crumbled up and redone. And that's where we messed up. America, is messed up. They think we can rewrite it. It has to be destroyed and redone. We not asking for we asking for equity and equality, and both those words are different because I can do the same crime and my outcome is different. Kyle Rittenhouse, I understand perfectly well the difference between Kyle Rittenhouse and this one. He was drove there. What the prosecution fucked that up because his defense was on point, and the prosecutor they was like they were just stupid. Oh, he got into a fight. You see, he was protecting his life, but he wouldn't be protecting his life if he would stayed his ass home. Come on, but this system is not made for us, and that's the frustrating part. Can we talk about the size matter now?
And
Yeah, we
Amanda,
can.
you don't stand alone. We are. I am. I'm not now, but I was the person guilty of voting because I felt I needed to vote. But there was years when I was younger, when I got to vote, when I first started voting, that I'm just voting. I wasn't reading my material. And clearly they send the whole booklet home for you to read the pros and cons of the people running or whatever bill is up. But I think we do ourselves a disservice by not reading them. Do I read it now? Yeah. I don't Google. I read that. And there's always gonna be hidden agendas. That's just it's just always going to be a hidden agenda. Whoever, exactly, it's politics. We're not always going to get 100% of the negative stuff this person has done. They're not going to put that out there. They're going to write it in a matter in which, you know, you see the fluff of the pros and cons in the booklet, but it's just never going to be the reality. But we still have a responsibility to read the material, Google the material. We still have that responsibility. We have a responsibility to vote. And you're right. Like, the judges stay in these places because of how we're voting for them.
Right.
Yeah.
I just want to add something real quick to that, though. When you see the fluff, always follow the money. So that's my thing.
True.
If you see and they're not giving you enough, I always look at who's backing that person and what their interests are. Because like you said, Mello, like it might be like real limited, like paper thin resume. You're like, wait a minute, you've been on the bench like 10 years. What's going on? But then you be like, oh yeah, like you know, civil liberties, you know, some random right-wing group for America. And you're like, yeah, okay. All right.
Like Oz, like I'm surprised by Oz. Like, I just didn't know. I'm like, what? He's being backed by Trump? You know, he's always had Oz, the Dr. Oz. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm just like, what?
Oh,
and people
really?
watch the show before health tips, at least they used to. But
yeah, he's a big Trump supporter.
Right. I was
He's
like,
a big
what?
Trump supporter. I didn't know that either. And that's
I
my
was
mom's
disappointed.
boyfriend in her mind. I'm like, really?
Your mama and a whole bunch of other people.
Right.
You know what Dr. Oz said? No, I don't know what he
Exactly.
said.
That's my mom.
No, I don't.
Well, tell your mama she got to get a divorce now.
Exactly.
Right.
But that's how I feel about Elon Musk and Tesla.
Mhm.
I'm like, wow, really?
Mhm.
Really? Yeah.
Let me just read these names, you guys. Margus Morrison, Andre McNeil, Aaron Salter, Pearl Young, Geraldine Talley, Celestine Chaney, Roberta Drury.
She was the first one.
All lost their lives. The security guard was a retired police officer who tried to defend, but his bullets had no effect on body armor. Premeditated. Substitute teacher. So on and so forth. A lot of lives lost. We got to find a way to heal. We got to find a way to hold people accountable. We got to find a way to hold our judicial system accountable. We got to find a way to make an impact on all the above. But in Mello's words, we need some of those positive vibes, healing energies for us all.
I'm definitely sending that to all those families, all the families who have ever lost someone like that in any sort of violence. Because, you know, that is devastating. And the worst part about this and when the times we living in now, there's a chance that if your loved one does get killed like this, the world will see it.
Right.
And that's yeah. I gotta go. I love y'all, all of y'all. Welcome, Miss Amanda.
Love you, Snoop.
And love you too. All right. Y'all too.
Safe, bro.
Talk to you later.
Snoopy Cliff Mello, y'all. Heavy topic. Heavy. Very heavy. And really, it's like, how do you, what do you follow that up with? You don't. But it's something to think about for you ladies that are raising sons. I commend you. I tip my hat to you. I encourage you to do all that you can to keep your sons uplifted in positive energy and education up what society has to offer, education of their surroundings. Because as a young man, although we didn't get to speak on that, but myself and Snoopy Cliff Mello, we grew up together as young boys, exploring this world together, going to school in the Valley. We are products of PWT, Permit with Transportation. 6 years of my life spent in the San Fernando Valley. So we got exposed to a lot of things, including the N-word. One of our very first football games on our own, myself, Snoopy Cliff Mello, and another friend, Miss Andrea. We on our way home from the game, out in the valley, headed back to the hood, and we get pulled over by the police because someone said that we had a gun. They tore up Snoopy Cliff Mello's mama's Datsun B210 looking for this gun that did not exist. And after all said and done, this car drives by with 2 white girls in it that yelled out, "That's not them, officer, that's not them." Meanwhile, we are laying on wet grass, face down, helicopter flying over our head, school bus with some of our friends on it looking at us being humiliated. But had we not been taught how to react, what to do, we may not be here today. So I encourage you to continue to teach your sons properly, wisely. For those of us with girls, daughters, same thing. Educate them, teach them. I love the fact that 3 said, Marcus, don't be walking down the street with your head in your phone. Pay attention to what's going on around you. Because the reality is, at the supermarket, those individuals were so focused in what they were doing. The first couple of bodies, they didn't have a chance. No chance whatsoever. This guy killed, I think it was 3 right outside of the supermarket, and then he shot through the window of the supermarket. So something for us to think about. It really is. I'm not going to extend tonight, you guys. I think that this is something that we should definitely ponder. I know for myself, I'm going to be curious. I don't watch again very much TV, Netflix and chill. Video games, that's what I do. But when it comes time for that trial, I'm gonna be watching it like I was watching Rodney King because I am curious. What are we gonna do, society? Social media, what are you guys gonna do? For all the control that you quote unquote have, you can send out notifications of copyright infringements and the whole 9 yards. How come nobody shut down that stream when those bodies started dropping? You shut down everything else. If I go play a cool rap song from Ice Cube on my stream right now, something's going to happen funky and it's going to shut down. So how come that didn't happen? Why did we have to witness all of that? So I appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen. Snoopy Cliff Mello, he ain't here, but I appreciate you guys. Miss Amanda, the door is wide open to you. You are welcome to be here. I love it. Miss Day, it's like so nice to see your face. We ain't seen you in a minute. Dev, the dude, is gonna be mad that he missed your face. Miss 3, thank you for being here. The sacrifices that you make to be here with us. 100 proof. You know, I appreciate you. So unless you guys, you ladies, excuse me, unless you ladies have something that you do want to talk about, you know, we can extend. If not, we can call it a night. It's up to you. Deuces from 3, deuces from Day. Deuces. All right, so let's go out like this. To my audience, thank you guys for being here. Hold on, let me read this. Curious, worried, and trying not to stress about my 19-month-old grandson. I pray he has a chance at life. Hey, that part right there, 19 months. I agree with you, Yvette. I do. We all of our youth, period, need a fighting chance. And at the rate that we're going, we're losing the battle. We really are. So I'm gonna end us like this: from the desert to the sea, from all the cities in between the East Coast to the West. We at Gentlemen After Dark, thank you for being here. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.